What's going on, ladies and gents, boys and girls, guardians of all ages, Joker back again once again, and today today we're talking about this week at Bungie, starting with Team Mech or Team Monster. Bro, TBH, high-low, all day, day. Is this even a debate? Are we even having this conversation? Team Monster isn't even part of the conversation because fucking Gundam armor. Gundam armor. Duh. Now moving forward, last call, Unbroken. Survival is the name of the game when it comes to our competitive Crucible playlist. We offer powerful rewards to players who take on the challenge each season as they reach for the power cap, alongside a slew of triumphs to earn. For those who wish to display their Crucible mastery, we offer the Unbroken seal and title. It takes 3 full seasons of reaching legend in the competitive playlist alongside other triumph requirements to earn the Unbroken seal. This week, we have a short update from the development team on the future availability of this seal. Dev team, for the Season 19 release, we're taking a pass on glory and how players engage with it in the Crucible. What playlists offer glory? How do players earn glory? What does becoming legend look like? While we can't answer any of these questions just yet, we wanted to plant a flag in the sand for the time frame. The segment would then go on to talk about how they're retiring the Unbroken title, and how if you haven't started your journey towards it by the end of Season 16, you will no longer be able to get it once it's retired in Season 19. Now, the competitive playlist has been a sad playlist for a long time. When it first released with Redrick's Broadsword, or Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten, Recluse and Mountaintop, Revoker and Randy's Throwing Knife, pinnacle weapons that made playing the mode worth playing, well, it was great. Without those incentives, however, not so much. There's really no reason to play it except for at the beginning of each season, and that has less to do with playing the mode or ranking up, and more to do with the way that rewards and leveling works. You basically get twice the loot playing in comp than you do in normal PvP, as you're ranking up both Glory and Valor at the same time. Comp then became even more repetitive, not just with the sunsetting of the playlist's entire Pinnacle loot pool, but with the return of Trials of Osiris that has its own unique loot pool and cycles loot in and out. And that's kind of the crux of the issue, loot. The competitive playlist was only valuable when it offered unique, powerful, game-breaking loot. And that was both its greatest strength and its problem. I talked about this in my Destiny is not competitive, stop pretending it is video, but the long and the short of it is, Destiny is a looter shooter first and foremost. Even if Bungie wants to call it an MMO or a live service game or whatever, first and foremost, it is a looter shooter. And without the loot incentive, the average and casual players aren't going to play something that's not rewarding to them. In a perfect world, they would be willing to get good, but we don't live in a perfect world. And if history's taught us anything with Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten and Recluse and all the other Pinnacle weapons, if you have something that game-breaking, that both PvP and PvE rotate around, Recluse, Mountaintop in PvE and PvP, Not Forgotten in PvP, if you have weapons like that, people will want them. And when people can't get them, well then, those weapons need nerf. It's a tale as old as time. And when people aren't calling for those weapons to be nerfed, the playlists themselves are full of cheaters and account recoveries, even with Bungie cracking down on them. Now, it's not like other games don't have cheating, but Destiny seems to bring out the worst in people in this regard, because I think our brains have been wired to not necessarily enjoy playing modes like this for the enjoyment of playing them, but for the dopamine we get when we get the rewards, when we earn something. I mean, if you want to see a microcosm of this, look no further than Halo Infinite. Halo was never about loot and cosmetics until it was. You played Halo even up till Halo 3, where they did have cosmetics, but you could arguably get most of the cosmetics in a week or two, and then most people basically use the same cosmetics for years. People played hundreds, if not thousands of games of Halo 3 and didn't feel like their time was being wasted because the game was enjoyable. And then we started getting rewards for our playtime. And then something clicked in people's brains. And I'm sure there's some psychology in rewards to this incentive-based gameplay that I'm bastardizing here, and behavior shifted from, hey, I get to play a cool game, isn't that cool, to, well, I'm gonna play this mode that I really don't want to and don't care about, but it does have rewards, so I'm gonna do chores and busy work to get rewards. Like I'm a child picking up laundry in my house for a gold star on a piece of paper. Then we come back to the comp playlist and the point of the comp playlist. The comp playlist is supposed to be the most competitive playlist. It's supposed to have some reason, other than playing competitive games, to draw players into the playlist, or it's going to be a dead playlist. But if the rewards are too good, then they get nerfed and there's no point. The wheel turns and another finger closes on the monkey's paw. At this point, I would almost say take comp out. We have Trials of Osiris. Don't waste dev time on something that is vestigial and superfluous and will never have the rewards again to incentivize people to play. Just don't do it. Spend development time on new maps and new game modes for the regular PvP. Let Trials be the sweaty playlist that is updated with the sweat rewards. Moving forward, the rest is kind of self-explanatory, a week for rituals. GM Nightfalls are coming back, and with them, Adept Palindrome and Plug 1. Grandmasters will require a total of 1,575 power, revives will be limited, darkness will slowly encroach on your ability to revive teammates. So yeah, pretty standard strike GM stuff. We're in the dry part of every season, and maybe this wouldn't be so bad if we didn't just have a 6-month dry spell, but yikes. Witch Queen was good, but like I'd predicted long before it came out, it was light on content. And Season of the Chosen was great, but again, light on content. Actually, Season of the Chosen, I really enjoyed. It was short, it was sweet, it got to the point, but light on content. Gambit will also have a pretty interesting update. Gambit Labs will go live, and this Gambit Labs will be Invasion Swap. Now, this iteration of Gambit is really interesting because it kinda sort of does away with the invader's advantage. What do I mean? Well, during Invasion Swap, when a team reaches 25 or 75 banked moats, they will open the portal for the opposing team to invade them. Meaning what any well-coordinated team should be doing is getting 15 moats each, and then banking them all at the same time, then dealing with the invader while they have no moats, and moving forward from there. So basically, the invader's role here is, yes, there could be a little cat and mouse with how long the portals stay open and when you choose to use it, and then invading and counter-invading and holding moats to invade and counter-invade. But I think the key play here will be basically to harass the other team and make them waste time as your team is collecting moats. In which case, and I don't think that this is something that Bungie could actively do, but maybe if you're killed by an invader, you get a slightly longer respawn timer. But I think as is, giving the opposing team control over when invasions happen is probably going to fix the biggest issue most people have with Gambit. And then the TWAB leaves off with Trials of Osiris solo queue, which is okay. I mean, it kind of splits the playlist and we know how I feel about that, but at this point, who cares? Like, honestly, that's not a hill I'm going to die on. All in all, pretty bog standard second wave seasonal stuff, which is great because it gives me time to catch up on making videos on other stuff that I wanted to cover, play other games, make some Halo videos, maybe, just maybe, hear me out, this will be wild, finish streaming Final Fantasy XIV. The world is our oyster, isn't it insanity? And yeah, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Remember to like, but only if you did. Subscribe for more. Feel free to donate to my Patreon if you're feeling particularly generous. But above all else, stay frosty.